What do you derive purpose and value from? What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you do? Discover your passion, discover your value. Hey everyone, Dr. Ryan Wakeham here. Welcome to the Endgame podcast, where I bet you didn't know what you didn't know. Today we're going to be talking about how to find purpose and meaning in your career, and subsequently how to create your end game around your purpose and meaning. So sit back, relax, and I hope you find this episode more than enthralling. So to start off, today's topic is finding meaning and purpose and how that parlays into creating an end game of your wildest desires, as I say. One of the most important things I've learned in my career, and one of the most important things I impart upon others, is this idea of if you wake up every day and you find purpose and value and love in what you do, then you're not performing a job, you're actually doing something that you love, right? It doesn't feel like work when you truly are enamored by what you do. And so one of the most valuable things I was ever given, and that I try to make sure to impart upon others, is having a job is important. Having steady income is important. And again, this kind of spins off into maybe this concept of asymmetric risk that I've done a podcast on before. But if you can truly find something that you love, that you're passionate about, that you find tremendous and derive tremendous purpose from, you will inevitably be very good at that if you spend any kind of time and energy toward it. And thereby the money will come, the patience will come, the work will come. And so one of the most important things I ever learned, and that I want to make sure that you guys understand, is maybe this is a moment where you kind of embrace the asymmetric risk. If you're at a job and maybe you're quietly quitting or doing the bare minimum because you don't find purpose and value, this could be a moment in time to do something you love. If you've seen one of my other videos, I talk about this idea of loving watches, right? I love what watches stand for. I love the intricacies and uniqueness of each watch and each brand. And I've been able to take something I love, watches, timepieces, collector's items, and turn that into a business. Right? I've been able to buy them, wear them, enjoy them, value them, and then ultimately, if I want to, make money on them by reselling them. So it's really a charge. My charge to you is, what do you truly derive energy from? What do you derive purpose and value from? And why don't you figure out how to create value around that for a customer and make that your life, right? Make that your purpose. Wake up every morning for that, because then you will not be punching a clock with a job. So first and foremost, it is important that you find your why. If you've heard Simon Sinek talk or read any of his books, that concept cannot be lost, which is this idea of find the power of why, right? What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you do? So discover that. Discover your passion, discover your value. It's not for me to tell you what it is. It's for you to sit back and think about, really. One of the ways you can think about that is, I mentioned it just a minute ago, where do you derive energy from? So there's this concept of introvert versus extrovert. An introvert is someone who actually becomes tired with the idea of being socially, externally involved, right? Versus an extrovert is someone who can be in a crowded situation or be externally involved and actually gain energy from that. So take a minute or minutes or hours to think about, what is something you do or something you love that you derive energy from. You get recharged from it. You get energy from it as compared to give energy to it. So this idea of energy in, energy out, what recharges your battery versus what drains your battery is a really good way to point yourself in the direction of what do you derive a lot of purpose from? What do you truly enjoy? What do you truly value? And by the way, the draining of energy or recharging of energy also applies to your friendships. So if you think about who is a friend that really builds me up, who really empowers me, who really gives me energy or recharges my battery when I spend time with them, as compared to the opposite. If your inner circle is a bunch of people that suck energy from you, that drain your battery, you probably need to start with a new inner circle, or at least slowly replacing that inner circle till you actually have a circle that recharges your battery and doesn't drain your battery. This highlights the importance of a coach, right? The mentorship, the coaching, someone that can help you figure out. Again, I can't tell you what you derive purpose from or where you derive or recharge energy from. But once you've discovered that, a coach or mentor would be able to change the trajectory through which you might turn that into a career, right? Where you might actually take that idea or that purpose and turn it into something that's a value add for someone that thereby can become a career. And again, maybe this is an asymmetric risk conversation where there is stability in a job, and the job provides sustenance and certainty and stability while you work through the process on this other side for what a different end game might be for you, one that is fulfilling and purposeful and valuable to you, and not necessarily the opposite. My very first podcast, actually, with Dr. Sean Dill, talks a lot about overcoming hurdles for success and how using a coach can get you there and really change that trajectory. As you think about how you identify what you derive purpose or energy or value from, but then also how you do something about that. And that's really where a coach or mentor comes in, especially if you don't want to just meander through many months and years of trying to figure that out. And you really want to get to a point where that does become your primary source of income and your primary time and energy spent sooner rather than later. Finally, I think it's important in kind of alluding to this last point. This is this idea of finding balance. As you think about where you gain energy, recharge your battery, derive purpose and value, there is this balance of one's kind of time spent in the external, right? So, what is that job? What is that purpose? What is that mission, vision, value? But then also balancing that with the other aspects of your life. Being an entrepreneur, I've said this many times over in the past, can be incredibly time consuming, even if you really enjoy that time. If you're spending 12 hours a day doing something you absolutely love, but then the other things that love you or that you absolutely love too are being avoided, or that time is not being well spent or valued with family or friends, then you're out of balance and likely out of alignment for yourself. Then that'll create instability or negativism or bad outcomes. Certainly may not be a successful end game, not just thinking about your career, your professional life, but always take a step back and think about your personal life too. It really hits me near and dear. Recently, I actually lost my father. And looking back, I don't have any regrets, but there's certainly could have been times where I was out of balance or out of alignment with the balance in my life, where the business side and the things I really value and derive purpose from on the professional side took away some from the personal side. And so valuing family and friends and the time with the right people, people that give you energy, not suck energy away from you, is so incredibly important. And truly, as cliche as it is, the value of time and how you choose to spend that time really needs to be thought about deeply. So as you think about what you derive purpose from, where you derive value and fulfillment, make sure that you bucket that into professional life and personal life too. So, recapping, I can't underscore enough the importance of waking up every morning and doing something that you love. That can be a habit, that can be a ritual, that could be a professional career. And I really challenge you to work towards that, because a professional career full of purpose, full of fulfillment, is one that you'll never wake up and regret. Don't forget about the balance of your life. Don't forget about the balance of your family and your friends. Think about who drains energy from you versus who gives you energy. Think about that personally, friends, family. Think about that professionally. Where do you give energy and drain your battery? And where do you get energy and recharge your battery? So, with that, I'm Dr. Ryan Wakeham, successful entrepreneur and your end game coach. I'm here to teach you how to exist today so that you can expand tomorrow and create the ultimate end game of your wildest desires. If you like this podcast, don't hesitate to subscribe, share, like it, watch it again, and look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Have a wonderful day.